I want to thank you, Commissioner, and thank the whole panel. You know, my job entails overseeing the sort of the public education system from early childhood through higher education, and I can't tell you how critical this work is to strengthening the quality of the early education system. This is absolutely at the core of our strategy to increase the quality of that experience, to set up young children for success when they get into school. It's all about the quality of the workforce. And not only is this important because it provides an accessible path for people working in the field to earn degrees in the field and therefore give them an opportunity to stay and to build long-term careers, but because of the competency-based approach, it allows them to be developing skills that they can apply in their classrooms with their children as they go. So it's not this sort of binary thing where until you get your credential, you don't really have sort of the skills or the value to add. It's as you go, you are building your skills and improving the quality of outcomes for young children. So it's tremendously important work, and I thank you all for doing it. But by the same token, earning degrees and completing degrees are essential parts of the reform and the change that is underway. And making 2- and 4-year degrees more accessible and affordable for working adults and first-generation students who may not otherwise be able to earn those degrees is a huge opportunity for hundreds and thousands of young people and adults. Our next panel will feature Match Beyond, which has an exciting announcement to make about their plans for expansion, and the panel will be moderated by Mike Larsson, Match Beyond's president. Mike.
Thank you, Secretary Pizer. Thank you, Chairman Gabrielli. Governor Baker, we're honored to be here today. Governor Baker did a great job describing the people that we serve at Match Beyond. We work with working adults, mainly in their 20s and 30s, who have to work full-time, who are stuck in their careers because they don't have a college degree, and have no real path to getting a college degree because they have to work full-time. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what Match Beyond is, very briefly, and then these guys are going to really talk about how it works here today. We have a little slide to have in the background that you can look at that has a little bit about our information, a little bit more color. So Match Beyond, we're a nonprofit program. We serve about 200 students here in Greater Boston. We're excited to announce today that over the next few years, we're committed to grow to more than 600 students in the Greater Boston area. What we do is we partner with Southern New Hampshire University. They provide flexible, affordable, accredited, nonprofit program that leads to associate's and bachelor's degrees. And we provide support to students to help them get through that program. We give them a full-time coach. We give them a place to work that's open nights and weekends, that works to their schedule. We have daycare help. We provide lunch and dinner. All things that may be considered small and mundane, but can actually really help unlock a lot of potential in people. So we're going to start out with my colleague, Tena Fenton. Down here, she's a coach. Today, she's going to be wearing the hat of a student or an alum. She just earned her bachelor's degree through our program with Southern New Hampshire University in October. And Tena, I'd ask you guys if you could just share with everybody your journey.
Good morning. So as Chairman Gabrielli said, Match Beyond helped my vision become my new reality. I graduated my high school class at the top 10% of my high school class with a 3.69 GPA. I went to one of the most prestigious colleges, universities here in Boston. From there, I succeeded to finish my year off there, but financially I could not finish. I wasn't given the ability to compete with my peers. For the last 10 to 12 years, I have been working in the workforce development, youth development, human services field, trying to work my way up my career ladder. But my peers, I found myself having to compete with my peers all of the time because I did not have the credentials to meet the requirements. I was laid off from my previous employer, and I got to a place where I felt like I was stuck. I felt like I was trapped, and I felt like I couldn't compete with the people that I was working alongside with. I was then introduced to Match Beyond, who, via Southern New Hampshire University, I was then allowed the ability to earn my associate's degree and then move on to my bachelor's degree and then earn my bachelor's degree in communications. I feel like Match Beyond and the team here helped me to develop my skill set, helped me to believe in myself, and helped me to succeed everything that I have been looking for the last 10 to 12 years. Education was very important to me, and the fact that I couldn't compete with the same people that I was working alongside with because I didn't have my credentials really did something to me internally. And I started to lose faith in myself, and I started to not believe in myself. But the ability to enter the competency-based program at my own pace with the skills I had already obtained during my years of working, I was able to complete those things. I was sharing with my staff a few weeks ago when I earned my BA that I really did think that I was going to leave this earth without earning my credentials. And to me, that was something. They saw it, tears started to flow because I really didn't believe that it was happening. It was so surreal. To this day, I still don't feel like I have earned my bachelor's degree in communication. But I can say that I am one of the first generations of people in my family to have earned an associate's and a bachelor's degree in the time that I have earned it. And the curriculum is amazing. It's not something that, yes, you can speed through it if you want to. It's kind of like a buffet, as Danny likes to call it. You take as much as you can eat, as much as, like Thanksgiving, you all will do it in a few days. Take as much as you can in the time that you can and utilize the time, which is a very important resource that you have. And earn what it is that you want to earn. And I was able to do that in the time with working with Match Beyond.
Awesome. Thanks, Tina. So now I'm going to turn to Danny. Danny's a senior coach, leads a lot of our coach development at Match. He's been teaching or coaching for 10 plus years in Greater Boston. Can you talk a little bit about your coaching philosophy and how Match Beyond allows you to really live that coaching philosophy?
Yes, totally glad to be here today, folks. I think ideally my coaching philosophy is stemmed out of student-centered learning. It is that approach that is grounded in relationship building. Right? There are two prongs to that thing. First and foremost, dealing with the person. When I deal with the person, I want to get to understand kind of like where they've been, understand their story. How is it that things have gone for them in the past? Also deal with them currently in the present to find out what they've done to get to where they are, to eventually figure out how is it that we're going to get to some of the goals that you have. That's the first thing, dealing with the person. The second part, once I've been able to establish that relationship piece, is to deal with the student. And that's always the tough part, right? Because there's the person and the student. With regards to the student, there's always an end goal in mind. Of course, in this particular context is the academics. And so we put together a plan through Southern New Hampshire University's College for America's curriculum to get the student from A to B. How that works is the students get to work on the projects that, to me, not only have theory in it, but actually are much more practical and lend themselves to a student who's actually living in today's reality of needing skills to be able to perform in the workplace. So through that, students get to come in and work on projects. For us, there are 3 lean productions methods that we kind of apply to this thing, and this is all part of the curriculum. The first one is Kaizen, where we actually look at ourselves as coaches to figure out how is it that we can do the work that we're doing better, all right? This also applies to the student. When they submit their work, they get feedback. With that feedback, they're able to actually go ahead and tackle the areas that they need to grow in. The second one is just in time. Just in time focuses on grabbing information that you need at that particular moment. In this particular case, it's Southern New Hampshire University's ability to provide us data at that given moment so that we can see where students lie. The last one is called self-production, which is actually where we as a team get to figure out how is it that we can continue the work that we're doing better so that we can serve the students. And pretty much that's the philosophy that I believe has not only gotten Tina very successful where she is, although it cost me a steak, but it also, with the many students that we're working today, getting them moving forward in their academics while they're still focusing on what's going on in their life.
Thanks, Danny. So I'm going to turn to Michele. So Match Beyond, we don't actually end with the degree. We end with the job and the career because that's really what matters the most, right? So what's unique about Match Beyond, really through the employment work that Michele started, is that we don't start working with someone as they're about to obtain their degree, which is the way it works in most career degree programs. We start at the very beginning. So Michele, please share a little bit about why is that? And then what it really looks like on the ground for people as they're trying to earn jobs.
Thank you. So I think it was mentioned earlier by Governor Baker, in the Match Beyond program, nearly all of our students are working either part-time or full-time. And typically that's seen as a liability. it's difficult to go to school and to work. One of them has to suffer. But our approach really looks at that as an asset. It gives students the opportunity to use the time that they're in their college program to build the skills and experience that they need to really unlock those high-quality job opportunities that will put them on a track to career growth and development. And so our approach is really about leveraging that experience and putting them in a place where they're able to build upon their career progression, moving them from a job to a better job to ultimately a career track job. The way that that works in practice is very much like what Danny shared. It's all about one-on-one coaching with the student. My job is two-pronged as well, where I'm working directly with students, and the second piece of it is really building relationships with employers where we can help unlock those connections between students that have the skills that employers are looking for and candidates that employers are looking for to fill those positions. So part of the job is really acting as a translator to sit in the middle between the candidate and the employer. We've had experience working with, as Mike mentioned, nearly 200 students, and we've been able to place nearly 50% of those students in jobs over the course of the time that we've been in operation. And I'm recognizing from employers, the feedback that we're getting is that it really is about that just-in-time coaching. We're helping students when they're preparing for an interview. We're not asking them to sit in a workshop and then hopefully 6 months later they'll remember what they learned. You have an interview tomorrow, we're sitting down, we're preparing for that interview for that particular job and that employer. And I think that real just-in-time coaching is what makes such a difference in our program.
Great. Thank you, guys. Again, we're honored to be here, and thank you again for having us.
Great.